Hello everyone, welcome back to Cloud Institution again. So today in this video, as part of the Linux interview question series, we're going to see another very important Linux interview question, that how to check the hardware information on Linux OS. Okay, so the interviewer may test your skills, saying that so how to check the hardware information. Okay, so for example, I want to see all the information in the single command, like how to check the hardware details. So which OS you are using, sorry, which hardware, the physical hardware you are using. So if it is a virtual machine, then what is going to be the component inside. So all these commands will be available in Linux command. So we can use single command to check all these things. Okay, so which command you use to check that one? Okay, so the answer for this question is going to be DMI decode is the command. Okay, so this is the particular command which is used to check all your hardware information. Okay, so let's go back and check that how this particular command will work. I'm already in EC2 instance, is on cloud computing. So so I'm already in the console. So what I'm going to do is that we need to check whether the DMI decode command is working or not. Okay, so DMI decode is the command. I'm just checking whether the command is not working, which means that we need to install the package on DMI decode. Okay, because it is a Red Hat version of a machine, and this kind of a Linux machine. So we have to do is that what you have to do is that you have to go sudo and yum install. Okay, yum install DMI decode. Okay, DMI decode. So the once when we try to install this DMI decode command, so what's showing is that it's going to be giving you yes or no. Okay, fine. So now the DMI decode command is been getting installed. So this is the specific command that can be used to show the hardware information, right? So now what we can do is we can go back and see what the command is all about. Now DMI decode. Okay, if you can type like this. Okay, so it's going to be telling that permission is denied. So you have to do with the sudo. Okay, so now once you done with the sudo, it's going to be giving you all the information about your, okay, so all the information about your OS. Okay, so it's going to be getting from the BIOS and then the handle, BIOS information. So what's the BIOS? In the BIOS is using a Zen kernel. Okay, so vendor is going to be Zen kernel, and then the ROM status and 64 KB, and then the runtime and address and all the RAM related information and system information. So manufacturer is Zen. It's going to be Zen kernel, which is the hypervisor. Okay, so now we can just see that in the chassis information. So you can also see the chassis. So if it is a physical hardware, then you can see all the chassis information. Okay, the processor information. Okay, so the socket into designation is going to be CPU 1. So the central processor, and then family is going to other, and then the manufacturer is Intel. Okay, if you wanted to check that which processor this particular VM is using, then you can just use the processor, the command called DMI decode to get which processor is using. So this is also another interview questions, right? So the interviewer may ask you the question like, hey, I have one VM. Okay, I wanted to see that which processor, what is the name of which company processor. It can be AMD or Intel or some other company's processor, right? So which processor how to check that which processor my machine is using. So how do you check? So if you want to check that particular status, then what you have to do is that you have to install DMA decode package. Then you can just check the command under manufacturer. The Intel is a processor that has been using. Okay, so you can just see all this external socket, external clock, and all this information will be used. Okay, so physical memory array. Okay, these are all the internal to the hardware. Okay, so now this is how you'll be checking the end of the table, right? So this is kind of a detailed information about your hardware information that can be used to process your information. So for example, if you wanted to write some automation based on the Intel processor or some other processor, or based on that, based on the memory information and all these things, you will be able to check this. Okay, so this is what something which I wanted to show you to you, that so what is the uh, what is the what is the command which DMA decode uses, so the max speed, so you can see that processor information, the processor, it also says that maximum speed and current speed, everything it can be recorded. Okay, so that's it about this video, guys. Hope you understand this video about what is DMA decode command will do. And if you like this video, please like, comment, share, subscribe. So please stay tuned for rest of the Linux interview question series, and we'll be posting a lot of the real-time interview questions like this in the future. Okay, so thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for the next video.